Hello and welcome to a new game, new campaign. I'm going to play Distant Worlds 2, which today got a new DLC, or at least today when I recorded the first video here. I'm going to set it up, and I'm going with the Spiral Galaxy because it's just my preference. I really like spiral type galaxies, also in real life when you look at pictures of galaxies. Going with the 1000 stars galaxy, even though I'm getting a warning here that I don't have enough CPU for that, but it should be fine. And nebula density for me is going to be sparse. I really don't like them that much. And yeah, what else do we want to set up? We are going with pre-warp, of course, so we start at the beginning here too. I'm going to put the aggression of the galaxy to chaos so that it's quite a lot of stuff happening. Difficulty a little bit higher because I considered the normal one to be too easy when I played it the first 2-3 campaigns. And research speed I decreased to lower a bit, too slow, to make it a bit more interesting what to select and more rewarding when you decide on certain things to do. And of course make it more valuable to steal research, for example, by espionage and stuff like that. And also trading for tech is also very useful. Yeah, I'm going with random research paths, so you don't see everything. Pirates are normal, pirate strength I want to be normal, pirate proximity average, and they don't respawn. If you remove them, they are going to stay removed. Space creatures, yeah, normal is fine. Colonization, just everything on normal. Independent colonies are rather rare. I don't like them that much because you can, depending on how many you get a massive boost from that. Colony influence range I increased a bit to make the range where you basically exert control a bit higher, therefore the AI or someone can, especially hostiles, cannot settle that easy. And colonization range limit is a little bit decreased to also not produce too much border gore, basically. Okay, I had to reduce the sound there a bit. The music was way too loud for my taste. So, the species we could play, the new ones are Daiute and Ikkuro. Daiute is basically an insect race, basically, well, similar to the Boscara, very aggressive. Not really assimilating and very low production rate, in fact, aggressive, and they are based on Savannah Worlds, Rocky Desert, and they do want to slave, assassinate, and so on. I don't know exactly what they have, but enslavement control facility sounds like that's their speciality, and enslave other races at your colonies 25% for their victory conditions. So they are all about expansion and subjugating all the other aliens in the galaxy. The other faction, the one which I want to play, is the Ikkuro, which is the new one. It's a primate, so they are relatively passive and they are really peaceful. That's their goal, basically. If you look down here, you have respect for life, which is going to give you minus if you bombard or destroy a world. Protection of life, you get happiness if you colonize something, if you make new non-aggression treatments and stuff like that. And especially you get disharmony when you declare war. And they are quite diplomacy heavy, and they really like to colonize a lot. So they also got a shaping facility, which is a better version of terraforming, and I really want to check it out. And for example, if you can see here, disallowed technologies, everything which kills planets basically disabled, or bombardment technologies are disabled. Even the beginning conditions are all around peace. Lose the fewest ship, have the largest colony, most spaceports, trade agreements, and medical academy. And they have a special government type, Harmonious Utopia, which we're going to see in a sec. Now, I want to find a good name for them, so I don't know. Let's call it the Forest Utopia, because forest worlds are the core world here. We are going with a plant here, or something similar at least. And the government type is of course the Harmonious Utopia, which is the designed one. Now, what is interesting here, you have a migration factor, so apparently we can attract migration from other empires. I'm curious to find out how it works. Also there's tourism income plus 25%, quite high, and minus 25% mining rate, quite big. So we want to definitely rush resort stations to get that tourism income relatively early. Also the happiness is quite high, therefore our income from population itself should be pretty good. The negative on all research I really don't like, but well, I have to eat that. And we start with recreation systems and medical system, which is luckily on the path to resort stations. Home system just going to be normal, starting expansion, so you basically don't have much. Pre-warp of course, and a random starting location. Then we're going to spawn with 15 other empires in the galaxy, and I'm not going to manually decide who it is, therefore this is going to be off. Winning conditions, 70% is the victory threshold, depending on all the special victory conditions each race has, and everything else we keep rather on standard. And now we can generate the galaxy, and I see you in a sec. Okay, here we are, game has loaded. We are the Forest Utopia. Our leader is Dunal Pakur, skilled in colony happiness, quite useful. Home colony is Sleeher, a forest planet in the Tesseract system. Nearby is a gas giant planet Tesseract 7. So we are basically a moon. No. Or maybe we are a moon, and there's also the rocky metallic moon Iholain. We only have primitive technology available. Explore, expand, and conquer. Okay, let's get started, and we are in the north of the galaxy. And yeah, we are a moon, in fact, of a gas giant. And let's pause here. And let's first of all check out the solar system. So if we scroll out here, we have a lot of planets here. Easiest way is to just click the sun, for example, and go through the systems here. There are carbonaceous planets. There's a desert savanna planet. Another desert planet, an ocean world. Another desert planet. Yeah, okay, so we have desert planets here, and one ocean world, in fact, here, and desert planets in the, well, inside, basically, closer to the sun. It's rather hot. Now, first of all, let's check out our leader, Dunal Pakul here. And he doesn't have traits yet. Probably he will get one as soon as we discover some ruins or stuff like that. Normally you get at least 1 or 2 traits relatively early on. But he can skill colony happiness, and that's extremely good. So that will skill quite fast early game, or early on. It's going to be very useful for our realm itself. Now, for those who never played the game, you can automate a lot of stuff by the policy settings here. Basically, you can do either automate it or suggest and execute or suggest it. For certain things, I would recommend to go with suggest, for example, which planets to colonize, and not let him make it automatically. Same for colony facilities, because sometimes you want to micromanage them. Same for example, ship constructions here. And let's in fact go through them. Tax rates we want to let be automated. Research, no, I want to guide research. Crash research can be automated if we have cash. I'm fine with the AI deciding to invest. Ship and base design, automatic for the moment, yes. Character locations, yes. Intelligence missions, also yes, in regards to automation. Diplomacy, definitely everything on suggest, so just to get ideas. And troop recruitment, fleet formations, yeah, it's also fine. Now, you could decide to go into more detail here. For example, if you go into military, you can decide, for example, which kind of factors should influence what should happen. Interesting, for example, is in regards to, it's in military. If you at some point find ships, then you can decide what to do with them. For example, where is it? Disassemble military ship. For example, disassemble at base when higher tech or larger than can build, otherwise immediately scrap for money. So that's something, for example, I want to do. Yeah. Condition for capture ships is of course when they are high tech or larger than we can build, and so on. You can automate a lot of stuff here. You can also fine tune it if you want to. And we are going for the moment with what we got. And now I'm going to check around a bit what changed, because I didn't play the game for a while. Therefore, see you in a sec. Okay, here we are again. I checked around a bit if anything major has changed or something new turned up. And now we are going to unpause here. And most interestingly, of course, first of all, the planet is going to build an exploration ship, then a construction ship, and then not the starport? I thought that is normally done. Give me a second. Else we have to build it on. Okay, now the search for harmony. Why is the quest on the right side now? I don't know. Can we not move it? Okay. I don't want to read everything here now, but basically the legend said that we came from the stars and there was some kind of cataclysm. Something has happened across the galaxy and we found some ancient relics on our world, and we have moved closer to mastering the science or secrets of faster than light travel. And we found some resources which are not native to the planet. And in that regard, we found technology, the early warp field experiments, which now is at 50%. And we have found technology research labs, which also gave us a small bonus. And the ruins on that planet here are giving us 5% colony development, 8% sensor research, and 6% scenery. Now that's of course here, same, you can see there, and let's continue. And we have found unknown items here, which can, for example, be resources, but it could also be further relics. And the first ship has been finished. We can dismiss that, we can also dismiss this one. And the ship here, in fact, is probably going to be, where is it? No. Here. Due to our chosen government, we gain insight into recreation system, medical systems. Yes, fine. We got them. Starting research tech. Now, here, okay. Our survey ship here, the Express Pathway, is of course scanning whatever. It's flying to the gas giant first, which I don't like. In fact, you are going to scan our home planet first. No, not refuel. How can I set you to... we're fully automated, will be fine. In fact, we are going to build a spaceport here, because we didn't have one under construction yet. Nope, we don't. So we are going to build a spaceport, and we are going to build at least another ship. In fact, we are going for... I do want a third, so another one here, purchase. And current amount, we already got a construction ship. Yeah, which is under construction, that's good. Now, we don't have any asteroids around our planet, which is not a problem, But sometimes you can start with some, which is going to give you like metal or something, some basic resources which you require. However, instead we do have a gas giant, and if we are lucky, the gas giant here has a fuel deposit, or like at least Caslon, which is a fuel. That would of course be massive, and also we have a rocky metallic moon here, which is could also provide some resources we urgently require. However, we should make sure that our ships here, the scouts, do not fly further than these 2 planets, because we don't have faster than light, else these travels will take like months or years to complete, and the tech for early warp fields is going to be finished in less than 3 years. It will be much faster as soon as the space station has finished, because that's going to give us some more science. Also, most likely we can build 1 or 2 research stations here on these planets. In fact, we are going to speed up the speed here, and the construction ship is getting done, and afterwards the spaceport is going to happen. Now, with the resources we just got, we are at 45 development on this planet here. And in fact, there's another view here. We have 45 development plus 5 happiness. Population is growing slowly with 1.8%, and we can have a maximum of 9 million here. Therefore, there is still quite a lot of room to grow into. And we do have polymers as a native deposit here. And yeah, there's also an unknown resource which has not been discovered yet. The scouting ship almost arrived at our gas giant here, our host planet. And that's going to be very interesting what is going to be behind there. Now, our income currently is quite negative. Therefore, I don't want to start, well, we should start at least 1 or 2 techs here. So what we want to achieve is we want to get expanded civilian ships, definitely. But we might want to focus on commerce first to get some more cash flowing. And probably research labs to 500 credits on resource, yes. Just to get some more science going before we start doing some useful things. For example, what we need is basic transport here to get the passenger compartment. And then we need to get into, not troop transports, but the civilian ships here. And I do think also space construction, but I'm not 100% sure. Remote fuel tanker. Well, I'm not 100% sure. Something unlocks the station which we want. I will find out. Now, currently we only have our planet for construction, which is of course not that efficient. But as soon now the spaceport starts to be built, and when that is done, our speed of construction is going to increase quickly. We have found Slihu on our home planet here. Oh, pause. Now, we found the other resource which is present here, which is going to give us colony development and colony income. Really, really good. And the abundance of 62% is also very nice, so you can in fact mine it relatively easy and trade it therefore. Now, that was our home planet, and now at the gas giant here, we found new resources. We found Caslon, Krypton, Argon, and a science bonus. Okay. So that's of course really, really good. So we can build a science station here at some point. Yeah, here's a small mining station, and we cannot afford it currently, a research station to get the plus 6% industrial research here. And we got Caslon here, so that's really, really good. And we're going to build a mining station here, which is coming from the private economy. So now that's interesting. What is the private economy? For those who didn't play it, Distant Universe before, you have a state economy and you have a private economy. The private economy is basically doing all the economy side, like trading, goods, selling, buying, and whatever. And the profits they are making are in the cash flow here. You can see where they get money from and what they, for example, have to pay. For example, they have to pay taxes to us and as a state, and we can do things like military from that. However, if you want to build a mining station, that's of course going to be paid by the private sector. They have 126,000 cash currently with a balance of 11k, which is of course much higher than our balance, which is only like 1k currently. And yeah, less even. And you want to have a healthy private sector to therefore have a rich state economy. And the best ways to push that is of course colonizing good planets, but also enabling something like tourism, which is going to be get another tax income and so on. So that's basically how you can tap into your private economy to get something or value out of it. They are also going to build ships, and these ships are going to be built mostly at your spaceport, like this one, which is under construction here, and the money for the ship is going into your cash. So having infrastructure also gives you money, because the private sector is trying to expand and therefore paying you for making new ships with your spaceports. And we are going to see that as soon as we have a spaceport ready and they are starting to build a lot of mining stuff. Now our construction shift is going there already, nice. And we got a new scientist, nice. He doesn't have a slot yet where he could work, but as soon as our space station is finishing, he can go to work there. And he doesn't have skills yet because we don't know what he is capable of until he has a lab to work in, and then he gets traits. While our leader here, which started with the colony happiness, is already at +8 now. He also got a high-tech research trait, and then he got some health-oriented, which is okay. Let's do that in a sec. He got 2 traits, health-oriented, which gives population growth and colony happiness, but less income and construction speed and facility construction speed. And he got industrial, which reduces population growth, but gives mining in rate, ship construction and facility construction speed. So they are more or less balancing each other out, but we got overall mining rate on top, but less colony income at the end. But it's fine. Mining rate at the start is quite important to get the resources going to push your colonies to where they are going to need to be. Now we have constructed the first spaceport. It's a large orbital base, it serves as a shipyard, which the private sector can order ships in. They probably already did. Yes, we got small freighters and exploration ship ordered. It's also a hub for trade, so our income went up in fact, and it's also a research lab. Therefore our new guy here is probably going to get reassigned to the space station here. Now, what are you doing? Survey Sleeger. Okay, we are currently investigating our own home planet, and as you can see here, exploration level 10. It will increase with each survey that the ship is doing. And currently, I think each survey takes around 120 seconds to complete. Of course, we are at speed 4 currently, and then it goes 1 up. And if we check, in fact, oh, we got a spy now. If we go into tech here, and there are, for example, better scanners, which are quite important to get relatively early. The basic survey module has a survey amount of 10 with a maximum level of 15, and the first increase here already has a survey amount of 15 and a maximum level of 25. So basically you can find much more on your planets and moons than you would beforehand. So that's one technology I want to take early on, because investigating your home system is quite important, because these resources are very close to you and very important for your build-up. And also, as we saw here, we have some desert planets here. Sandy desert planet. Yeah, we didn't scout them of course yet, but rocky desert planet. We have to decide, maybe we want to go into desert planets in our main system, in fact. Okay, new ships have finished, and we got another resource at Slihu, which also gives 8% development. Therefore, we are going to have more income from there. Now, income. Okay, first mining station is done. And we of course want to also build a research station there. Now, money. How do you make money? It's pretty simple. You need a development level here, which is produced by your resources, which you have to ship to your planets, and the population is eating them. And the development is rising from the resources, but also from like infrastructure or ruins that you have on the planet, which is generating, first of all, approval rating, and then also it creates, based on the population and the development, a revenue. And then you can make a tax on that revenue, which is of course reducing your approval rating, and you lose some to corruption, but at the end you can make some income from that planet. And now currently we are up to almost 2k tax revenue. If you remember at start we were at roughly 900, now it's already going up fast. But that's normal, because you just discover the first resources here, which are going to help you. And there's another one, in fact, which we cannot find right now, because we are now at the maximum exploration level already. That's why I mentioned the first improvement of a scanner can be quite useful. But here we are completely explored already. The gas planet has no secrets anymore. And here on the moon, we don't know anything yet. So that's going to be interesting. Our construction ship, what are you doing? Retrofit, okay. And hyperspace technology has been discovered. Using the ancient knowledge recovered in our early exploration, we have developed our first primitive hyperdrive. Yeah, and I'm going to make a cut here, because now the stuff is going to speed up significantly, at least within the solar system. Also, due to our research breakthrough, we have produced another scientist. Now we do have two. One here, this guy is not yet working. No, not yet. But soonish they can be put into our research stations, for example, our spaceport and the other research station, which is currently under construction. And I think what you want to do is you want to have them matching, basically. Now this one has a hyperdrive bonus, and we don't have a hyperdrive research station yet. I do think they want to work at the station with the expertise, but I think that's only like optimization and not necessary. But we are going to let the AI or the automatization handle the assignment. And here I'm going to make a short cut. This is the first episode. Welcome to the new series. Leave a like and subscribe. And if you have explicit questions to details or mechanics, feel free to ask. I will try to explain as much as I can to guide through and decide what to do and like help you or understand why I make certain decisions here. Well, see you, have fun, and see you in the next episode.